Resident Evil 2 is one of the finest horror games on the PS4, and one of the best survival horror games to come out in probably decades. Resident Evil 7 came out a couple of years back, was also a very good survival horror game, but this one is significantly better in practically every regard. The environments are more interesting, production values are through the roof, and the gore system is phenomenal, which we'll get to show off when we find some zombies. I'm showing off a little bit of gameplay from the start of the game, where this was also in the playable demo that was released, so there won't really be any story spoilers. There are occasional things where you have to hold X, but there's no quick time event, you'll be glad to hear. The story and voice acting are well done throughout, and the whole game just drips with atmosphere. Like, it's one of the scariest and tensest things I've played for some time. I got startled and legitimately scared multiple times, and some sections of this can be incredibly tense, which is again where the 3D audio really kicks in. We're going to go ahead and skip this guy's fate because he gets a little bit torn in half. And I'm going to show off some of the zombie tech. Because the zombies are truly wonderful. Like, they stagger and stumble about and have a variety of neat animations where you do stuff like clamber over benches to get a hold of you. And honestly, often your best solution to the problem is to run away from it, as in all good survival horrors. Or to go for the legs to stumble. Now, I'm going to waste a little bit of ammo, because I don't actually need to kill these guys, but I want to show off some of the cool stuff that happens. But like, you can shoot off enemies' arms. And then if you do that, if you take off both arms, they can't grab you. Nor can they open doors by banging on them with their arms. Taking off their legs or just into crawling, which makes them less dangerous. You can find defense items that will buy you a moment if you get grabbed. And, as I say, we'll skip the cutscenes. The gameplay is just great fun. Like, there is a lot of tension revolving around ammo and resource management because you never have enough of either. Health, ammo, you need to keep everything for yourself. The map is incredibly useful for this. Items that are still available to pick up in a room will cause it to show as red until you've picked up everything that there is. There's also item boxes where you can stash your stuff when you don't particularly need it. The knife I picked up there is one of the aforementioned defense items, which you can either use on its own or to get zombies off of you. Honestly, I can't really think of much more to tell you about this because it's one of those things where the more you play it, then the more you play of it yourself, rather, is a better experience. I will be streaming the whole thing in its entirety because I figured out why I couldn't stream it, and it's an incredibly dumb reason, but apparently HDR being on prevents the streaming functionality from working. I don't know. But yeah, I'll be playing through the whole thing with Claire and Leon in that order, since I already did my offline playthrough as Leon and Claire. But yeah, that'll be getting streamed around about Kingdom Hearts as well. So yeah, to sum up this review, it's an incredibly tense and excellent horror game, and I reckon it's the first game you should definitely spend money on in 2019. Well, apart from Ace Combat, but that's more of a niche game, really. You know, if you like planes, you're probably going to buy Ace Combat, but Resident Evil is the first game I'd say is for everyone. Unless, of course, you don't like horror. In which case, then maybe The Division in March? I don't know. Well, thanks for watching.